Hello, everybody. Welcome. So glad to have you all. My name is Sarah Buckman, and I'm the marketing manager here at Common Ground. Been working at this awesome food co-op for more than 10 years, and we're just so glad to have you all here today. I see some familiar faces and familiar names, so we're so glad to have people taking this virtual cooking class with us today. And welcome to everybody. If this is your first time. We do a bunch of different types of cooking classes, from in-person classes to cultural cuisines, local cooking classes using local ingredients. And we usually do a virtual cooking class every month that comes with a meal kit. So I guess the way this works, before I introduce our wonderful Sirisha Bhandaru, is we've got recipes for you. We've got all of your ingredients laid out. You take your time, however you want to make these recipes. And of course, if there's any questions that come up as you're cooking with us, we want to make this as interactive as possible. So feel free to shoot over commentary or additions to the conversation. And of course, any questions or modifications that you need for your kitchen, okay? But yeah, again, we are so glad to have you all here. I would love to introduce you to my great friend, an amazing cook, Sirisha Bhandaru. Sirisha, welcome. It's so nice to have you again for another class.
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to do this class. As always, I love talking about food and cooking, and this just makes me happy. So let's dive right in, because some things take time, like heating the oven. And before that, let's make sure the oven is empty, because mine is always filled with my cast iron and other pots. So we'll make sure we empty our oven and preheat it to 350.
Okay.
And then I will start talking about what's there in the kit and what we are going to do, the class flow and all that.
Great.
So let's make sure.
Yeah, so preheat your oven to 350.
Yes.
This is going to be for our amazing Mawa cake.
Yeah, we're going to start with the cake first, because it'll take some time to bake. And while the cake is baking, we'll go ahead and make poha, and then we'll make the sandwiches, and last we'll make the chai, so that it's nice and hot and ready for us to drink, with everything else ready for our tea party.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then feel free, if there's any comments or questions, I've got them on my phone, and I'll be getting some close-ups so you can see all the details here. But yeah.
So if you saw the instructions, we had requested all of you to kind of keep the eggs and butter and mawa at room temperature. So let's hope we might need to thaw out the butter a little bit if it's a little hard. So, but you would have all gotten an 8-inch pan. You can use this or use your own, but I thought for uniformity and making sure it cooks on time, it's better to use an even same size pan for everyone. So we have the pan, and let's look at the ingredients. So hopefully you have the butter, mawa, milk, and eggs at room temperature. And then if you want, we can first just take a look at the ingredients in the kit. Yeah. And make sure we get the bag.
Feel free. There's no. I know everybody was busy this weekend. Was everybody able to kind of leave their mawa and milk and eggs and butter out on the counter? It's okay if you didn't. We've got some tricks that we can give you to warm things up. But if you haven't, just stick them out onto the counter, and we'll be starting with the cake first.
Yeah. So let's see the ingredients. We have one small container with everything mixed in. See this, I love this, because it's going to make everything go faster. We are not measuring out all the ingredients. That's what takes the most time while baking. So we have baking powder, salt, and cardamom powder. So let's first look at the ingredients. And there's extra cardamom powder. So some of it will sprinkle on top. And we have pistachios. This go right at the end. We'll be chopping them up and using. And we have sugar, flour, and almonds. So right now, almonds, pistachios, and cardamom powder, these we can just put aside. We'll be using that towards the end.
Okay.
So
So yeah, I'll get a close up of, we've just pulled out all of the dry ingredients for the Mawa cake, as well as all of the refrigerated. So sugar, our baking powder, salt, cardamom, flour. We got our eggs, Mawa. There was a couple questions. So Krista says, what is Mawa? We've never heard of
yes.
it before and used it before. Will you talk a
I'm
little
coming
about
to
it?
that. Yes. So all these recipes that we are making today are from near Mumbai of India. So these recipes are popular there. And Mawa is basically milk solids. So if you take full fat milk and just let it cook, and let the milk evaporate little by little, little by little, by the end of the day, you'll be left with milk solids, and that is what is Mawa. Luckily for us, you get this in the Indian store. Someone has already put in all the hard work, and just like condensed milk or evaporated milk, this is not sweet. So it's kind of like evaporated milk, but cooked even further till you get milk solids. So it's just cooked milk. So it's very rich and has a very nice taste. So coming to the Parsi Mawa Cake, Parsi refers to the community of people who had moved to India many centuries ago, I think in the 8th century or so. They were originally from Persia, and then they moved to India, and they have a very distinct identity with their cooking and the way they dress. They're very much like how we dress. They've assimilated very well into India, but they still have a very strong identity, and they're a very nice community. Many are traders, and they've assimilated so well into India. Of course, it's been many centuries, but we still have very special Parsi dishes. And this Parsi Mawa cake is very popular in Irani bakeries and cafes that we have all over Bombay and Mumbai and Pune and some parts of India, where they are very popular. So
Vivian had a question. Is it the same as barfi? Barfi?
Mawa is used in making burfis too. Mawa is used in making a lot of Indian sweets. So yes, you mix mawa and cook it with sugar, you will get burfi. You can make burfis pretty easily. So yes, it's the same thing that is used in that. So Parsis, so Irani cafes, like I was saying, they sold this mawa cake first, and it was hugely popular. And they would sell it along with chai. So there are, it is not like, people don't agree as far as the history of when did mawa cake start and how it started and all that. But there is one story which I kind of find believable, and I like it. So I'm just going to share it. Take it with a pinch of salt. So these Irani cafes would sell chai along with many other treats. So they would have milk sitting and boiling for the whole day. And at the end of the day, they would be left with mawa because of the milk boiling a lot. So they would take all that mawa and they started using it in making these mawa cakes. So it was a good use, and there was no refrigeration at that time. So it was not like they could store it or they had to use it up immediately. So this was one way they used up the mawa of the milk the previous day. So I thought that was very interesting. So we will start with grating the mawa. It's better to use, you can crumble it too, but grating gives it the best texture. So let's use a box grater on the fine grate.
And Noah had a question. How does the process of making it work? So it's
the cake,
I think the mawa, is that right, Noah? You just kind of a process of just like slowly simmering the milk until it kind of evaporates slowly, and then you kind of get this nice solid block.
Yes.
We have friends at Bombay Market. They help supplement some ingredients. So if you love this cake and you want to keep making it, it's in the refrigerated section.
You'll
comes in blocks.
You'll find it along with paneer. So it's usually next to paneer, and it's called mawa. So this is like a third of the block. So that's what we have. We are using roughly around 100 grams of mawa. So we're going to take this, and this is our box grater. I'm using the fine grate. So it'll get incorporated nicely into the flour and butter and all that. So the flavors of mawa cake come from mawa and cardamom. So that's what sets it apart from other cakes. Typically, there is no vanilla used. Cardamom, I would almost say, is like the Indian vanilla. We use it in all our Indian sweets. So, this cake has flavors of cardamom and mawa. Let's start with just grating the mawa.
So you're doing it so you just have a box grater and a cutting board, and you're just going to use the finer setting of the grater. And you're just going to grate it all?
Yeah, grate it all. So we
also need a little bowl. So we're going to start with the mawa cake first.
Yes, we are doing the mawa cake first because that will take the longest to bake in your oven. So in my oven, usually things take a little longer.
Yeah, our oven is like, here, I'll spotlight it for you. It's a small but very powerful convection oven. So ours, it actually works for cooking classes because typically ours is usually fully baked before the participants. So we usually can kind of give you pointers on how the progress is. So
if you know your oven, just, use your judgment. And the cake, it says it takes an hour to bake. So you might want to start checking it at around 45 minutes or, however, like this oven, we are setting it slightly lower and we'll probably start checking it after 30 minutes or 30 to 40 minutes. My oven will take 1 hour plus maybe 2, 3 or 4 minutes extra. So it just depends on your oven. If you're familiar with it, you can know exactly what to do, or you can just learn today. You can just poke a toothpick or something to check on whether it's done. If it looks kind of nicely, if it has a nice crust, but you want to be sure, you can just poke it with a toothpick or a knife. And if it comes out clean, then your cake is baked.
Yeah, so Elizabeth said, hi, Elizabeth. She said, I have a convection oven as well. What are you doing for your convection? So because convection has a lot more airflow and more stronger fans to kind of push the heat, it can cook evenly, but it also can cook a little bit quicker. So if anybody is cooking with a convection oven and wants to do what we're doing, we're lowering the temperature a little bit to like 330 Fahrenheit, and we're going to just periodically check on the cake at midway points just to see how it's doing. For anybody that has a standard electric or gas oven, Sirisha says she makes these all the time, and it's usually
mine runs a little lower. My oven is probably more than 10 years old. I've seen newer ovens get hotter and finish quicker. So it just depends on how your oven works.
Yeah.
So it might be 5 minutes here and there. And this butter is still kind of solid. We need it soft. So I'm just going to thaw it in the microwave for a few seconds.
Okay.
I'm just getting a plate and I will put it in the microwave.
So your butter might be we all gave you,
Sarah,
I think,
could you help me reach
one? Sure. Getting a plate.
Thank you.
So we're just gonna zap the butter for the mawa cake for a couple seconds. But Noah, you are so right. He says it looks and smells like white cheddar cheese.
Did you have a taste?
Yes, and it does. But it tastes sweet. It doesn't have that salty, tangy of the cheese, but I was just thinking of your comment like how it really does, especially now that it's grated. It would make a good grilled cheese.
It will not stretch.
Yeah, it won't stretch like regular cheese.
Yeah, it's sweet because milk has a naturally sweet taste, and it's been cooked down, a lot. So that's why you get a sweet taste from the mawa.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Avery. I think Noah and Avery are on a Zoom together. Okay, so our
Hi Noah, hi Avery. So happy you guys are doing the class.
oh great.
Okay, even the microwave is very warm here.
Yes.
So my butter is more melted. It's not softened, it melted, but that's okay.
Okay.
So we're just going to, so we have our softened butter ready. We have mawa ready. We have sugar ready. So these things will go into the stand mixer, or if you're using a handheld blender, whatever, you usually use for baking cakes. Before we do that, we'll take a little bit of the butter and grease our
Our
pan.
Our pan.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just going to find perfect. You can just take a little bit, either with your hand, or you can use a silicone brush and just grease it. So this will help in the cake coming out of the mold properly and not sticking to the pan.
Okay. So greasing the sides and the bottom with a little of that butter that we included in your kit for the cake. So again, we've got a standing mixer. If you have a handheld mixer, that's great. If you don't have either, that's totally fine too. You just might have to whisk it up in a bigger bowl. So we've got our butter. We've already pre-portioned your sugar, so you shouldn't have to measure that out.
And we are also going to just add some flour and dust it off.
Okay.
This is just ensures that the mold is, or the cake pan is non-stick.
Okay.
That's all, just a little bit.
That's great. So just a little sprinkle of some of the flour.
Yeah.
On the buttered tin.
And then just move it around so that it sticks to the butter. And our pan is now ready. We can just put this aside till we get the rest of the ingredients ready. So now we are going to do the next step. That is, we can actually start the stand mixer and then we can sieve the flour and everything together.
Okay.
That way it'll get going.
Okay, so we're gonna add the mawa butter sugar into the standing mixer, and then we'll deal with the dry ingredients.
This one will.
Perfect.
I think I'll just, or maybe I'll just take the, it's come. Okay, so here we have we are adding mawa. Are we all good? Are we all at the same step? So we've added the mawa. Now I'm going to just slide the butter in. I'll probably get a spatula to make sure I don't lose any of the butter on the pan.
Yeah, let me know how you guys are doing. Is the pace okay? Do you need anything re-explained? So we're just working on the wet ingredients for the mawa cake. So we grated the mawa, we melted the butter a little bit. We're adding the sugar right now, and then we just greased our tin pan and floured it with a little so that it would be nice and sticky. Oh, great. Oh, it's Avery and Avery's mom.
Yes. So hi, Sonia.
Okay.
So this is locked, right? And then
Locked.
we're just going to start this.
Okay, we're gonna slowly mix it together.
And while that is working, we're going to do the second step. Sieve together the flour, baking powder, and the cardamom and all that together. So you can use a sifter, or you could just take a fork and fluff it up if you don't have one. But this step is really important because it removes all the lumps and gives in a nice texture. So since we have all this already pre-measured, I'm just opening the bowl, adding all of that, and we'll just
Oh, the cardamom really is
Mhm.
amazing. So you said, okay, we're leaving the almonds and the pistachios and the extra cardamom.
Yeah, we'll be using that to top the cake later.
So yeah, we're leaving the pistachios, almonds, and cardamom out. So we're just working with the flour.
And the
And-
box that says baking powder, cardamom, and salt.
Yeah. If you don't have a sieve, that's totally okay.
Just use a fork and fluff it up. So even this is ready now, and we'll just see how how it's coming along. Maybe we'll give it a good mix once.
Okay. Has anyone baked with cardamom before? I was lucky enough to try everything. When Sirisha and I were planning this class, I was lucky enough to try the mawa cake, and the cardamom is just such a good accent to the cake. Vivian says, love it in desserts. So great. And it goes with the chai theme because cardamom is such a big part of chai flavors.
Yes.
Jamie says, cardamom is one of my favorites.
So I'm just getting it all out of this attachment and just letting it blend a little bit more. It should be light and fluffy.
Yes.
So we're just going to let this go for a little bit more before we add the eggs.
Okay. Laura says cardamom is good in coffees too. You're totally right, Laura. When I worked in the deli and cafe that was my first job here at the co-op. One of our best-selling drinks was a cardamom latte, and we would make cardamom simple syrup and use that instead of like vanilla simple syrup. We would use cardamom, and it was such a good flavor.
That's a new one for me. I'm so used to having it with chai. I've not tried it with coffee.
Yeah. I mean, the coffee makes it a little bitter, but it's really good. Okay, everybody doing all right so far?
We'll just wait till this gets nice and fluffy. Since if the ingredients are room temperature, this becomes very easy. You can see the difference. Yeah. I think it's getting there slowly. Yeah. Maybe we'll just increase the speed and just let it go for a little bit.
Sounds good. But it is going to have a thicker consistency.
Once we add the eggs and we'll be adding some milk also, that will help get it a little lighter. And sometimes depends on how dry our home is. Usually for some recipes, I might need to add a little bit more liquid than what the recipe says. So we'll just have to go with how the mixture feels. If this, after we add everything, if it feels a little bit too thick and too dry, we might have to add more milk. Then, this is as per the recipe. So we'll see how it goes. And you can see at your own home how the batter looks.
Jennifer says, I can't drink coffee unless it has cardamom.
Oh,
nothing makes it tolerable. Okay, then we have just a cardamom fan base here. This is the perfect class for this. I'm so glad.
See, you can see the texture changing.
Yeah, it is. It's getting creamier.
We'll just give it a minute more. I am more of an intuitive cook than a baker. But, I have made so many mistakes in my initial bakes that I have now learned. More than the recipe instructions, you have to look at how things look and feel,
Yeah, Sirisha is one of our longest standing teachers. You've been teaching since, was it 2016?
Yeah.
So I love doing classes with Sirisha. She's taught me so much about Indian cuisine, and I feel Yeah, it's just so nice to have you doing this. And we do all different types of we've done so many different types of classes with you, and we've put them all on our website. So if you're curious for more of Sirisha's recipes, just search Sirisha on our website and it will pull up all of the classes and other recipes that we've done with her. And we even have the recordings from previous classes if you want to do the whole process.
So do you see it getting thicker and light and fluffy? Ours is getting there. I'm just going to let this go for a minute more. I increase the speed. There's a big difference from when we started. So I think at this stage, I'm ready to start adding the eggs one at a time.
Elizabeth says, FYI, it says 1/3 cup for flour and milk, but I think it means just 1/3. Let's see. Oh,
Where?
oh.
Yeah, we'll just be adding 1/3 of each. Yeah, it's not cup.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, I got you.
Sorry
Yes.
about that.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, sorry about that, you guys. So as we start to add the flour and the milk, we'll just be adding it in third portions. Is that right?
Yeah.
Kind of
Just
trade off between flour and
approximately,
milk.
yeah, approximately add 1/3 of the flour, 1/3 of the milk, let it mix a little bit, and then we'll add the rest like that 3 times. So I'm just going to get something. I don't.
So Shay, the cardamom didn't go in yet, but we did sieve it. We did sieve it into the flour.
So we use the packet that said baking powder, salt, and cardamom. So we have extra cardamom powder to sprinkle on top, and we had some that goes into the recipe.
Okay, so Shay, you won't have to put.
The extra one is just optional, and it will go in later.
So the only thing that you'll sift in with your flour will be the baking powder, salt, and cardamom powder. We haven't added any of this dry mixture to our.
Yes, now. So we creamed the mawa, butter, and sugar, and now we are going to add the eggs one at a time. So I'll add one, let it mix a little bit, then add the other one.
Okay.
So I'm just.
So now we're gonna crack an egg.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I like to just blend it up a little bit with a fork before using before adding it.
So you're just gonna whisk up the egg a little bit so it's combined.
Yeah, just to help it blend easily. I'm just going to break the yolk and.
Okay.
This just helps in.
One egg at a time.
Yeah. So I'm just going to let this go.
Okay. So we just whisked up one egg, added it to the mixture, and started mixing it again. Now we're on to the second egg. And we're just gonna use our fork.
Yeah, we'll just break the yolk.
Break it a little.
And once this has mixed, it's mixed pretty well.
It's turning white.
Yeah.
Okay. And we kind of have it on like low, medium speed.
And we are not going to be mixing it too much once we add the flour. So we'll make sure all these ingredients are well incorporated.
Okay.
So
you have a little egg on the side that we're just gonna make sure that is mixed in. So you say that again, you said once we add the flour and the milk, you don't want to over.
Yeah, we don't want to over mix it because, then that will start developing the gluten and, the cake will get more bready. So we'll just let this go for a little bit more. Once we are sure that the eggs have incorporated very well and this is nice and fluffy. Are we all good? Are we all at the same step?
We're gonna move this closer so they can see ya.
So I'm getting the flour and milk ready for us.
Okay, Jennifer, no worries. She said a little behind, so you take your time. Let us know if you have any questions. So right now we're just creaming all of the wet ingredients for the mawa. So you take your time.
And I'm just sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure everything is mixed in. So now we are going to slowly, I'm going to reduce the speed even further. Just approximately, or maybe I'll turn it off. I don't want stuff flying.
Yeah. Here, I'll open this for you.
Yeah, we'll add.
Gonna add like a third of the flour mixture
Mhm.
and like a third portion
Yeah,
of the milk.
yeah. Just approximately.
Okay. Cool.
And then let it start mixing. And then,
Oh, so you don't
Yep.
even you're not really over mixing it. It's like as soon as it's
yeah,
incorporated,
yeah.
you're moving on to adding more. That's great.
Mhm. Just like any like pound cake recipe, these steps are, we don't want to over mix the batter.
Totally.
So just adding a little bit more.
Great. So we're on to our we did a little bit more flour and a little bit more milk. And we're just really combining all the ingredients. As soon as we don't see any white flour, then we are moving on to adding more.
Mm-hmm. So now we are adding the last round of we just
Dry
set
and
this
wet.
up. Yeah.
That looks nice. It's so thick and creamy.
Mm-hmm. The mawa really, you will see when it's baking, it creates a nice crust.
Mm.
This cake gets a nice dark crust.
Oh, that's nice.
Oops.
Okay, the last of the flour and the milk.
Not
And
just
we're using
anything.
local eggs and local milk today from Kilgus Farmstead and I think Little Farm on the Prairie eggs. So
We're just
supporting our
going to,
farmers.
I
Sorry.
can't see what. So we're just making sure we have everything, all the last bit of the butter and mawa, not losing any of that.
Vivian says, oops, I accidentally licked the batter and it's delicious. I might have to try some too, Vivian. That's like the best part sometimes. Half the reason why I make like chocolate chip cookies sometimes is just for the batter or the cookie mix.
See,
Yeah.
this looks almost done. I'm just going to remove this and just hand mix it now at this stage. So a lot of it will still be in the whisk. So we have to make sure we get, I'll have to come this side to see it, Sarah.
Oh yeah, sure. So Ananya says, my batter looks a little lumpy. What can I do? So
Just continue to mix it for a little bit.
yeah.
So if before adding the dry ingredients, it should have been nice and fluffy. That will help prevent any lumps. But if it is, and if it's looking a little bit dry, you can go ahead and add extra milk too.
Yeah.
So we're going to just check on this, how the texture looks on this one. And then see if it needs maybe a extra splash of milk.
So Ananya, if you don't have any extra milk left over, you could maybe steal a little bit of the milk that we gave you for the chai.
Yeah.
Because it is the same whole milk, local milk that you could use. But I think what we noticed is when the mawa was a little cold when we first were grating it, but then when we kept mixing it for a couple minutes, it
Mhm.
started to go from like a yellow lumpy to almost like a white
Light color, very light color.
So that's kind of what you want to look for. But yeah, I would say it, in general, just keep mixing until it looks less lumpy.
Mhm.
But
So-
the good thing is when it does go in the oven, it will, you know, melt and
Mhm.
rehydrate. So
So at this stage, I mean, I would like to add a little bit more milk, even
Okay.
for our batter. So I'm going to get some of the milk we have for the chai and use
Okay.
a little bit.
by a little bit, do you mean just like a
A
tablespoon?
splash, yeah.
Okay. So maybe in the summer we wouldn't.
Yeah,
Need-
yeah, because it's more dry.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now and see, this is where, you know, you just learn from experience. You know how it look.
But if you are happy with the way your cake batter looks, it's supposed to be a little thick
Yeah,
or thick
So-
in general. Yeah.
just a small splash.
Maybe a teaspoon of milk that we just added to the batter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has like a pound cake almost
It's almost
thickness.
like, yeah, it is like a pound cake pretty much, except with the addition of mawa and cardamom.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this looks pretty even, right?
Yeah.
I think it's good enough to go into the cake pan. I'm just going to get the pan here.
Ananya says milk helped. Thanks. Great. So again, if you hadn't put a little bit of butter and flour on your tin, feel free to do that. That will help make sure that it lifts out of the pan. But if that's not a concern, then that's okay. We made sure that we got everybody this 8-inch tin. That way, we're all cooking. It would all cook around the same time.
And using a silicone spatula really helps. If you have one, go ahead and use that. It just helps getting the batter out
Okay.
neatly.
How's everybody doing? Where are you guys at? Are you let us know if you need help with anything. We're just scooping the batter into the tin. Our oven looks like it's preheated.
So now we have all the batter in the cake tin. I'm just going to even it out.
You're like jiggling it a bit.
So that it's nice and flat.
I've learned so many skills from you, Sirisha. Jennifer and CJ said, almost ready for scooping. Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to waste any of it. So I'm just going to get a knife or something and just scrape this.
Yeah, to get it all.
Yeah.
That's the magic about all of these virtual cooking classes is, you know, everybody's cooking in their kitchens. You can go at your own pace, but it's really just such a sweet thing to be able to share this recipe with such a large group. And
I love that.
Nothing's better than getting the whole meal afterwards too. So
now let's go ahead and get our cardamom powder, sliced almonds and pistachios. We'll just cut the pistachios into slices.
oh, okay. So we kind of leveled out, she did a beautiful job of leveling out the batter. And then the only things that we have left for ingredients are the cardamom powder, the slivered almonds, and the pistachios.
Yeah.
And you wanted to slice or chop up the pistachios a bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just clump them all together, just put your hand on the top end of the knife and just run it. This helps get it into small flakes or crumbled pistachios.
Yeah. And the milk mawa, it will have like that caramely, nutty
Mhm.
buttery flavor that will really complement the
Yes.
almonds and pistachios. And plus, it'll look so pretty. You'll be able to kind of decorate the top
Yeah.
of the cake with the almonds. So
So-
all of these are just gonna go set onto the cake, right?
Yeah, we're just going to sprinkle them evenly.
So we're sprinkling all of the pistachios that we chopped up on the top.
And now we'll just add the slivered almonds. You can add as much or as little as you
Okay.
like.
So you don't have to use them all if you don't want to.
Especially be careful with the cardamom. We'll be just using a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, with cardamom, it's a very nice spice, but you should be a little bit careful to not overuse it. It can get overpowering
Okay.
very fast. So we'll just add a couple of pinches.
Okay. So yeah, we gave you I think it was a half teaspoon of cardamom, but you're only going to use a couple tiny pinches to
Yeah.
decorate the top.
Yeah.
Let me know.
And that is only if you like cardamom. You can, this is extra. You don't have to do it. So we're just
a really
see, it's very
dainty
strong.
sprinkle.
You can when you smell it.
Ooh, yeah.
The remaining you can add to your, if you like drinking turmeric milk or latte, you can add it to that. It'll really give it a nice flavor. So I think I'm done. I just put 3 pinches.
Three tiny pinches
Yeah.
of the cardamom
powder.
So I would say even less than a quarter teaspoon.
Yeah.
Maybe even like an eighth of a teaspoon, but just pinch, just
Yeah.
a little dusting of cardamom on the top.
Mm-hmm.
But for the cardamom lovers, maybe you have a different
Even for them.
cardamom tolerance, but yeah, it's probably plenty though. Because there's already cardamom in the flour.
Yes, this is just on top for extra flavor. So we don't need too much. So once we have it all ready, let's use a baking tray just so it's easy to, lift the cake pan. Something I find this very useful. So I'm just going to put the cake. It's hard to lift this when it's hot and with mittens, oven mitts. So this makes it easier. So we're just going to get this in this oven, say a prayer, and hope we get our timing right. So
Jennifer and TJ said, Jennifer will probably put it all in. Just, yeah.
So now we're going to put a timer.
Okay.
Sarah, what should we start with? 30 or 40 minutes?
So I'll put a timer for us for 30 minutes and then we can kind of do a check-in for everybody and be like, okay, probably by then we'll be able to smell some really amazing baked goods. So I'll put a timer for 30 minutes, even though most likely it will cook for everybody around
1 hour.
like 1 hour.
I'm just going to tidy up here while Sarah gets the timer set up.
Okay.
Are we all good? Is the cake in the oven?
Yeah, let us know how you guys are doing or what stage you're at. Because we can talk out anything if you need. So I think overall the recipes are good. Our recipe order will be Mawa Cake
and then
Poha, then the Chutney Sandwiches, and then
chai.
Chai.
Yes. So now we are done with the Mawa Cake. And we are going to start with.
Guys, good job. Everybody is like in the oven, cakes in the oven.
Awesome.
With the fire. Close enough, finishing toppings. In the oven. Cool. Well, I'm sure there's maybe a couple of you that are not in the oven yet, and that's okay. You take your time. We have plenty of time for everything, okay? So, and of course, if there's anything that comes up that you're a little uncertain about, just reach out. We're happy to walk you through it. So next, we're getting our bag out for poha.
Okay. So let's just see what all ingredients are there and I'll tell you what poha is. So we have a huge onion. We'll probably be using only half of it. We have potatoes. We have some oil for sauteing. We have raw peanuts. And the save, this is just to add crunch on top. We'll not be using this for cooking. This is a topping.
Okay, so I'll say that again. So sev will only be a topping.
Yeah.
That's one of the ingredients in the poha dry mix.
And this is poha.
Yeah, maybe would
This
you be
is-
willing to talk about
Yeah.
poha a little bit, and then I think people would be
Yeah.
able to catch up.
So I'm very happy and excited to introduce this ingredient. This is basically flattened rice. So they parboil rice and pass it through rollers and flatten it and dry it. What this does is it makes it almost like a no cook or very fast cooking. When you soak it, it's pretty much ready.
It almost
then we
looks like
just-
oatmeal.
Yeah, you can see, yes, it looks like oat flakes, but you can see the shape of the rice grain also. If you look at it, see? Rice grains kind of look like this. So it's just dried and you get two varieties, thick and thin. So this is the thick one. This is good for the dish we are making. The thin one is just crisped up in a little oil, and it's very fun to see the thin one as it crisps up in the oil. Like you can just put some oil in a pan and saute it, or spray some oil and put it in the oven. It'll get translucent. So that's used for making like a spicy trail mix called chivda. So that it's crispy and crunchy and flaky, and it lasts for a long time. It has a good shelf life. That's usually eaten as a snack during Diwali, one of the biggest festivals. So that's always made.
How do you spell it?
Chivda, Chivda, or yeah. So that's made with the thin poha. But today what we are using is thick poha.
Okay.
So this poha, I would almost say is like the OG cereal of India. You know, it has very less cooking time and people love using it in many different ways. So today we are doing a nice saute of vegetables and we'll be using that. But in some Eastern India, they love just soaking it, mixing it with banana, jaggery, some cardamom, and they might even add some fresh grated coconut, mix it all up, mash it up and eat it for breakfast. So it's
great.
very popular. Like, you know, I have made it even as a snack in summer, especially with summer fruit. So I've used watermelon, I've used peaches, just chop up the, you know, peach, soak and hydrate the poha, add little onion, cilantro and chilies and a squeeze of lime juice. It's very yummy. Makes it filling and it's a nice snack. So this is a very nice ingredient. So I'm happy that we are all getting to try it today. So this is poha, the OG cereal of India. And then we have the other ingredients. We have our turmeric, salt, sugar, and cumin and mustard seeds. Okay. So in India, in most regions except Bengal and other eastern parts, we use black mustard. So if you see the mustard seeds, these are black mustard seeds.
And they're just a little bit stronger.
Yes, yes, they are stronger than the yellow ones. So these are all the ingredients. We should have another bag of poha ingredients. That might have been in the refrigerator.
Yes.
So that has cilantro, and I think it should have yes, curry leaf, some green chilies.
I'm so excited about the curry leaves. Anybody that will be making this dish using curry leaves for the first time, let us know, because it has such a unique smell. I was trying to, I saw Sirisha yesterday, I was like, Sirisha, how do we describe the smell? It's such a unique one. So
it's just a strong herby smell. I don't know. It's just unique to itself. Yeah. You can see. You can even like, you know, eat one and see if you like. It's a bit chewy.
It's strong and kind of like bitter a little
bit, but it's extremely medicinal. In South India, we use it a lot. We love dry roasting it crisp and, you know, or with a little oil, making it into a powder with other spices, and we love eating it with rice. It is very flavorful, great for digestion. That is one of the reasons all these things are added. Like curry leaves are extremely beneficial for digestion, and they have other benefits, very good for hair. So many people actually even warm up coconut oil with curry leaves in them and make a special medicinal oil for applying on the hair.
We're gonna need you to
Yeah.
come back and do a body care body care class.
Yeah, we'll use our herbs and spices for everything as much as possible. And then even cumin seeds are very good for digestion. So we would even make a tea. Like if, I had a stomach upset, my mom would just boil water with a few cumin seeds and make a tea out of it, and then add a pinch of salt or something and give it to me. It really helps soothe the stomach.
Wow.
Without taking a medicine, you can get relief. So that's one of the reasons these spices are so important. They not only add flavor, but they also have medicinal properties. So that's how they started using all these spices in our food. And of course, everyone knows the benefits of turmeric. So we're just going to now prep and get ready to make poha. So
Nilesh says, would be nice for the store to sell curry plant in the summer. I know they're tropical, right? So I wonder how hard it would be to grow.
Bombay market is I love the shop owner there. They are very friendly and very resourceful. If you ask them if they are able to find it from somewhere, they'll try to get it for you. Most of the things they will, even if they don't have them in store, they'll have some idea of how to procure them, and they'll try to get it for you. So you can try your luck in summer. They might be able to get.
Yeah, Bombay market is our friends. They always help us with a couple of things that we source. Like for instance, we source the poha from them, and the save and the curry leaves, and some of these chilies. So we love them. They always they come through for us.
Plants, another very nice place to ask for is the CU plant people Facebook group. They're very friendly and very nice. If you ask over there, if someone has a curry plant, they might even share it with you.
Yeah, that's true. We've has anybody been to one of the plant sales or plant swaps that we've done? It's been in partnership with the CU plant people. So if you're a plant lover, definitely recommend, and have a Facebook, recommend joining them. They are always freely sharing or trading different plants.
So let's start making poha.
So what will they need equipment wise?
So we'll need a colander. You can use a small one too, just using what we have here. We're going to wash the poha and let it sit for a little bit. So that is the cooking part of the poha. So when it hydrates, it gets almost cooked. And then light steaming will just make it warm and, nice and delicious. So we're just sometimes we just add this to, if you're familiar with Indian cuisine and if you've heard about curd rice, sometimes if you don't have rice, you can just hydrate poha and make it like curd rice.
Curd rice.
Yes, that's yogurt and rice with a little bit of spices. Plain yogurt, not sweetened yogurt. So I just have this, and I'm just going to put it in the colander and give it a good wash. It's better to use your hand so that you make sure everything, the entire poha gets wet. So, and this removes any extra starch and, any sediment that might be there. So this water looks clear. So now all we need to do is we need to let this slowly drain. And then you can just set it aside. I'm just going to take this bowl that I used earlier for the flour. You can put a plate or something under your colander so that the water collects in it and it doesn't get dirty. And we'll just, if there are any, this is just the husk of the rice. So when they cooked it, some husk must have come. So, yeah.
So we just rinsed the poha and then we set it on one of the dry bowls from the previous baking.
You can use a clean one too, just to drain the water. So
it's just going to sit on this bowl here.
So we'll just let this do its thing while we, cut the vegetables and get everything ready.
Just going to try this. So good. I just had a little taste of our batter. So next we're gonna get a cutting board and a peeler. We're gonna let that poha just sit and drain. We also will eventually need a saute pan
Yes, and the lid.
with a lid. So we're just using kind of like one of our wider stainless steel pans. So whatever type of pan that you would have, this will be what we cook the rest of the veggies in.
So the ingredient is poha, and the dish we are making is also called poha. So this is very popular across almost all over India. The way we are making it is more of the western part of India or even northern part of India. In South India, they might use a slightly different seasoning mix. Instead of cumin and mustard, there might be some more ingredients in this. And this is very much like how they would make it in Bombay or Mumbai. And sometimes they make it, you don't have to use all the vegetables. You can use only onion, only potato, only peas, or you can add everything. You can even add some grated carrot, whatever, you can make it how you like. So today we are doing a mix of onion, potatoes, and peas. And peanuts add a very nice crunch and fantastic taste to this. Typically, most recipes will not use these many peanuts. I'm just fond of them, so I use more, and that's what I've made sure your kids got. And these are the raw peanuts. So you can go ahead and taste them. They're slightly different than the fried ones. I prefer these. Like for most Indian cooking, we use the raw peanuts and we fry them fresh in oil that we are cooking in. It just gives a nice taste.
Yeah.
So these are your peanuts.
I'm just gonna see how our cake's doing really quick.
Yeah.
Because our oven is always.
Wow, it's hardly been 10 minutes, right?
It's been basically 15.
15, okay. I'm glad you checked it once.
I'll show you. Our oven is so fast. It is already rising, and I know it's not fully done, but it's starting to get a little bit of a caramel color
yeah.
on the. So I'm gonna lower the temp a little bit just because our oven is crazy strong. And then maybe we'll check in another like 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll need only half this onion for this recipe. You can just put cling wrap on the other half and cover it completely and use it for something else.
Okay. We said a whole, but just since these are big, you can just use a half.
Yeah.
And then how do you you're just gonna dice it
Very small. Yeah. I'll show you. Maybe I'll just peel this and then, just so we are all not emotional and crying by the end of it, I'll cut the onion last. I'll just remove the skin.
It's not as strong as those red onions. We were doing some red onions earlier with an in-person class, and they were very strong.
Yeah. I still want happy faces. So I just removed the skin and I'm just letting this be. And then potatoes, you can just wash them. Yeah, you can peel them or leave the skin. It depends on what you like. I have recently been hearing a lot about the nutrients in potato skins and how to not, how you should retain the skin.
Okay.
So if I know that they are well sourced and if they're washed thoroughly and I'm cooking them, I'll keep the skin on.
Yeah.
So these look pretty
are
good.
Organic potatoes.
I'm just going to give them a good wash and keep the skin on, but it's totally personal preference. If you don't like having the skins on, you can peel them.
So we're waiting to chop the onion just in case it makes us cry while we're prepping our
we're just going to cut the potato and other ingredients first.
Okay. And that's potato. Will you say like the potato and the onion are going to be around the same size?
Yes.
And
small.
Okay.
Because
small dice.
We want the onions to only get translucent. We don't want to brown the onions. Poha tastes very good with just cooked onions and not browned.
Okay.
So we are going to we'll see the potatoes also. Sometimes if I get very new potatoes and I know they're going to take longer to cook, I'll first add the potatoes. Once they're half cooked, then I'll add the onions so that they'll finish cooking together. A lot of Indian cooking is about knowing when to add things. And a lot of it, depends on like the if you're making some of the curries and stuff, a lot of it depends on the flavors are developed with how much you cook onions. So some need browned onions, some need just translucent onions. So in poha, we are looking for more translucent onions.
Okay. So the potatoes we're doing about like a quarter.
Yeah, this
inch.
one part is that looks dirty. I'm just taking it off. I'm just checking the quantity. So for this quantity, I think one potato is enough. I'm sorry I made you cut the other one also, but we could maybe use that in something else. I'm just going to go with one potato.
Okay.
Yeah, because depending on the size and the amount of poha we have, this will be enough. We are using 3 vegetables. I'm just using one potato.
Cool.
Yeah.
If they love potato, they're welcome.
Yeah, you can add
two.
if you, yeah. And then these are Thai chilies. So the thing about them is, depending on how much we cut them, we can extract that much of heat. So earlier I would just chop them into tiny pieces because it was just the 2 of us, me and my husband, and we are okay with that kind of spice. But after my son was born and he started eating, I will just maybe use, for this quantity, I will just use 2 and I will just slit them like this. So they're easy to remove and their heat gets infused.
So depending on how much spice you like, these are really just kind of to accent the dish. So she sliced them lengthwise.
Yeah.
They're still connected at the top.
Yeah.
That you'll be able to kind of drop these in and then take them out easily without having the seeds go everywhere. But
these are like really spicy ones.
Yeah.
If you like a little bit of spice, instead of just slitting, split like, keeping them intact like this, you can cut them all the way and have split green chilies that will just give a little bit more heat.
Okay.
But I'm just going to slit them and let them be. And if you are very sensitive, or if you're handling little kids, this is a good time to just rinse your fingers, because these chilies are spicy. You don't want that on your hand. You don't want to touch your eyes or, touch little kids.
So the chilies are in with the they might be hiding in your cilantro.
Yeah.
So just take a look. Everyone got 3 Thai chilies. They're pretty small. But they're in with your poha refrigerated bag. So they should be in with your cilantro and your curry leaf.
Curry leaf was in a zip bag. So you could just put it. So we're just going to take the leaves out.
Okay.
And
taking the stem off of the curry leaves. That's
and
the next thing.
Now I'm just going to chop the onion, and we'll chop it like as small as the potatoes.
Okay. So again, we're only using half an onion. If you love onion, you're welcome to use the whole. And we only used one potato. Elizabeth says, can we use jalapeno instead? There were no peppers here. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I thought
yeah, you can use an jalapeno.
You can actually use a jalapeno, or
it could be,
if you're spice sensitive, you don't even need to put them.
You can split the jalapeno, or chop it up very fine if you like the heat. A little bit of heat enhances the taste for sure. So I would recommend using just a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry if we didn't include them. We try our best. But yeah, it could be
mixed with
the cilantro. We realized we were using a lot of packaging in many places, so we thought we were taking a shortcut by not putting them in a baggie.
So now we are ready.
Okay.
Are you guys ready with the vegetables?
So
which one should I
diced the potato. We sliced our chilies. We removed the stem off the curry leaves, and then we diced half of a onion.
And the onion and the potato seemed easy enough to cut. So if I were to go with my gut, I would just add the potatoes and onions together.
Okay.
If the potatoes were very hard to cut, I might start cooking them first. So it just depends on how the vegetables are. So Sarah, would you recommend using this one or this one? Okay.
Yeah. So we have a pan, and we've got some of our olive oil. And how hot? How high?
We will need it on medium heat. So
Okay,
this will be 220 or
so we're gonna
Is-
heat up a pan to medium heat.
so maybe 250 for us.
Yeah, okay, good. It will heat up, ours will heat up pretty fast, but then we'll kind of slow down. Let me
So
take a
let's-
look at our cake.
Oh wow, its color is almost
Almost there?
yeah. Let's take a knife and just check.
Here,
Um,
do you need one
please.
of these?
or you have
We're gonna check our cake really quick because our little oven is mighty. Oh, it's still a little jiggly.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's
Okay.
just. Should we just move it around or no, it's not done.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll let it be.
Do you want to lower the temp at all?
No, I'll let it
Okay.
be. Yeah.
We're keeping the temperature consistent on our oven. We're not lowering it. It is starting to get a nice caramel color. But we want it to, it's still jiggly in the middle, so we want to make sure that it continues to cook.
Yeah. So we'll wait till the pan gets hot.
Okay. So we're heating up this pan to medium heat. And then what are the first steps?
First, we'll add oil.
Okay.
And then see, as you can see, this pan is pretty hot. Like you can see the oil smoking a bit. So it might take us a little bit time to get used to the.
Oh, then we'll do the peanuts?
Yeah, we'll first add the peanuts.
Okay.
Since I love them, I'm adding them all. I think it'll be fine. It'll be good.
Evelyn, your question of, so we should keep the seeds with the peppers? We are.
Yeah.
I would recommend that. What you've basically done is slice just the center, but keeping it connected. Maybe a couple seeds will fall out, but overall they'll be intact.
Yeah, it will be fine. You can use two if you're worried about the amount of heat that will be there. Just use 2 slit chilies instead of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even if a couple of seeds come out, it'll be tolerable with So we're just going to start roasting these potatoes. A couple of skins. The skins are fine. So not potatoes, peanuts.
Peanuts.
Yeah.
They're also a root. Are they a legume, right?
Yeah. In India, we are used to calling them groundnuts.
Groundnut.
Yeah.
Okay. We had a one of our kitchen recipes back in the day was a African groundnut stew, and it had peanuts, and it was so good. So you kind of want these peanuts to be sizzling in the oil. That's the first step.
Yeah.
How do you know when the peanuts are?
They start smelling good, and you'll see slight color change. Some of them, you can see the skins are not there. We don't want them overly cooked because they'll continue to cook in the pan along with other ingredients. So at this stage, when the peanuts look like they're sizzling, and you can see some color change is happening.
Yeah, they're starting to get yellower and like wrinkly, or not wrinkly, but
light brown color.
Yeah.
So now we'll add the cumin and
mustard
seeds, and then things will start going a little quick. We'll add the curry leaves. We'll let them splatter. If you want, you can use a thing to kind of help not get stuff on your clothes. But yeah.
So I'll just say that. So after the peanuts are sizzling, you're going to add the cumin seeds and mustard seeds pretty quickly. And within the next couple of seconds, add your curry leaves, your potatoes, and your chilies. And you'll get an aromatic. Oh, your whole house will smell amazing. Everybody doing okay so far? You kind of just have to make sure that the cumin seeds and mustard seeds don't sit too long by themselves before you add the other ingredients. You want the potato to kind of end up cooling off the oil so it doesn't burn the seeds.
And we let this cook on medium heat, and let's check our poha. Okay. So as you can see, the texture has changed a little bit.
It looks like orzo.
Yeah, it's become more hydrated. So this is the
gonna
stage where
try
you can taste it. You can check if you can press it between your fingers and it gets squished, it's good. Sometimes depending on the packet, the batch that you get, some of them might be more hard, but this is good.
Yeah.
This is
They
it
still
has
have a
soaked
little
up.
chewiness to it.
Mhm. Once
Okay.
they get steamed, let me also try.
Yeah. Hmm.
So at this stage, you are welcome to leave it like this and we'll steam it along with after the vegetables are cooked for a few minutes.
Okay.
Or if you want it softer, you can just sprinkle some more water
Okay.
on it, but on the poha. But I'm just going to leave it like this and we'll season it too.
Okay. So do you recommend everybody try just a little pinch of the poha?
Just try it. See how you feel, how it is it. Are you able to squeeze it between your fingers? If it's very dry, you might want to rinse it again and let the water drain.
Yeah.
Or you can sprinkle some water.
Ours are really soft.
Yeah.
They still have a little chewy or like gumminess
Yes.
to them.
Yes.
But if it was like super dry still, you would want to make sure to give it more water to hydrate.
So don't use the entire salt. We're just going to salt in layers, everything. So we're going to add some salt, enough for this poha. And then we are going to salt the potatoes and other vegetables separately. I'm just adding a little bit as per taste.
Okay. You added like three pinches of salt to the poha in the colander.
And sweetness also, we just need a little bit. I'm not using all the sugar that is there. I'll go with two generous pinches.
Okay.
So that will, that brings out the sweetness in the onions.
Okay, so you just added probably about equal amounts of the salt and sugar to the poha.
Yeah,
about
like
three
roughly
pinches.
half a teaspoon of or less of sugar is enough. It's just to slightly enhance the flavor, but we don't want it very sweet.
Okay.
So now that we kept an eye on the poha, we're just going to look at the vegetables and see how much. I think I need to increase the heat. These chilies are kind of strong, because they're very fresh. So if you feel that this is getting too spicy, you can remove one of them or two of them. Okay. So that's the thing, the more you cook them, the more spicy they get. So you can you can remove it now if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and keep it for us.
Yeah.
You're okay with that, right? Or should I remove one?
No, let's keep it. So I wanted to Elizabeth says, question ladies, what is the sev made from? So that's like a chickpea flour noodle, basically.
So we have one dal, one bean which is very close to garbanzo bean called chana dal. So this flour is made with roasted chana dal. So it's almost like a cousin of the garbanzo bean, and it's more it's kind of like a chickpea flour.
So Ed, if you're watching, we checked the ingredients. There's no gluten in the sev. So it just had the chickpea bean ingredient.
So now in this, we are going to add enough salt for the vegetables.
Okay,
so I'm just going to
the veggies.
Yeah, I'm just going to eyeball it. So just to flavor this.
Okay.
I think I pretty much used just a little bit.
Almost salt.
Yeah. And we'll add turmeric also.
All of it?
Yeah. Turmeric gives it its color. You identify the dish poha from the yellow color. So
just again to keep everybody in the mix, we added a little salt. We checked our poha, added a little pinch of salt and sugar to our poha in the strainer. And then we added all of the turmeric and a little bit, probably
salt as per taste
of the salt left over in the container.
And the potatoes are still pretty hard. Okay. So what I'm going to do is lower the heat a little bit and cover this.
Okay. If your potatoes still need more time, we've got a lid. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So this will help soften the potatoes a little bit more.
Carmen, we kept those curry leaves whole. We just took them off of the stem, but we threw them in when we were with all the other ingredients. so they're a little crispy. So let me know if that helps. But yeah, we kept them whole. Okay. Our timer went off, so maybe we should, maybe our cake might be done. This is always a fun thing.
Can I get it out? Yeah, see, it has risen more, but I think it's still soft.
More.
Yeah. Shall I turn the pan around? Maybe,
Sure.
It's getting darker. Maybe move this half.
So feel free to use this as an opportunity to kind of check your cake. We just rotated it.
Yeah.
But we noticed it,
it's still a little soft in the
color
center.
is coming on, but it's still soft in the middle. And then more heat.
Yeah. So we have to make sure our potatoes, they're getting soft. They're not completely cooked, but they're getting soft. Keeping the lid is helping. And once if your potatoes have gotten a little bit more softer than ours, then add the peas and mix it all in.
Okay. So when your potatoes are soft, add the peas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Towards the end. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We'll just give this a few moments. You can see the steam forming in the lid, and this will help soften the veggies a little bit. So if you're adding grated carrot, this is a good time to add it.
Ooh, if you have, like,
yeah,
if you
if you were to add, yeah.
What other veggies would you say they could mix?
Bell peppers.
Bell pepper.
Yeah, just a little bit. Bell peppers are good. My husband loves adding cauliflower to everything, so we'll add a little bit, small florets of cauliflower. Yeah.
Vivian says cake is pretty gooey inside. Yeah, it probably needs more time.
Yeah.
I'll set another timer because my timer, I stopped it. All right, I lost. Yeah.
So here, if I see I'm just going to check the potatoes. So it's still a little bit hard.
Hannah says, we got ahead. Oh, well, eating this by the spoonful from the pan. The extra peanuts is a pro tip. I appreciate your judgment there. That's awesome, Hannah. I'm so glad. Tell me, I was just going to have some Sev just for the...
Oh, yeah, please
for the
go
fun
ahead and try it. It's very yummy. We love topping many things with save. So I'm adding the peas at this point. We'll just let this warm up and, continue to cook as the potatoes cook.
Yum.
Yeah, I can just snack on this,
If you haven't tried this stuff, I recommend it. It's like kind of crunchy, like potato chippy, but different and yummy. Or like onion, like fried onions almost.
So we'll just continue to let this cook.
Okay.
And then I'm just not going to use all the cilantro. This is a lot. We'll just, you can keep it for some other recipe also. I'm just going to take like a nice generous handful.
You took like most of the leaves.
Leaves, yeah. So I'm taking this much, and the rest I'm just going to put it back in the fridge. And this I'm just going to rinse it quickly.
Okay, washing the cilantro leaves.
Yeah.
So she just removed all the leaves from the cilantro, and we're just rinsing it a little.
And then you can use a kitchen towel to just drain it. I'm just using the paper towels here.
Okay.
Just get some of the extra water out.
Right.
And then also let's stir this a little bit and see how it is. So potatoes are slowly getting there.
Okay.
Ours are still a little bit hard. So the oven goes very hot, and this one is a bit
slow.
We are not sure.
It's always,
yeah.
The kitchen likes to give us a little
adventure, excitement.
And it really makes you depend on how it looks.
Yes. So
it's a full sensory experience. So how do you recommend chopping this as fine as possible
Yes,
or
yes, as fine as you can.
okay?
I'm just going to wind this,
Oh, you
wind it up
bunch
like
it
this,
together in
punch
a
it
ball?
together, and then
Nice.
just chop it.
Jennifer and CJ said, so delicious. I'm so glad. Has anybody, I know there's a few of you that have taken Sirisha's classes before, but has anybody, are there any classes that you remember taking with Sirisha or any recipes you learned from her? Carissa says, wow, smells amazing in this kitchen. I'm so glad. I know, nothing's better than a tea party. I love the idea of this class, so I'm really excited. Oh, yes. Vivian. So Vivian is an amazing person. She's also the which are you the program coordinator for the Urbana City of Urbana and also in charge of the arts and culture program and they funded a culinary arts class for us last year that we were able to give out 40 meal kits of Sirisha's to do like a culinary arts Indian thali with a bunch of different dinner dishes. And so that beet raita was like that pink
That was a
pretty
lot of fun.
yogurt. That was so pretty. That was nice. And then Jamie, I love that. Oh yeah.
How do you open this?
We hope
So yeah, I just tasted the vegetable mix and ours needed a little bit more salt. So you can go ahead and taste it at this point and maybe add some salt.
yeah.
So based on
Okay.
what I tasted,
Adding a little bit more salt.
yeah.
So Sirisha says, we make Sirisha's mung bean curry all the time at home. That was
Is that Jamie? Oh, I love that.
And then Nilesh, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Nilesh said, yes, this is our second class with her. And then Kayla, hi Kayla. She takes a lot of our classes. She's like, I still make the chocolate bark with rose jam and candy fennel. That was so good.
I love that.
I still have some of that gulkan.
Gulkan.
How do you say it?
Gulkan.
Gulkan.
So now we are ready to add. I check the flavors and season the poha. The vegetables for the poha. Okay. And now I'm ready to add our seasoned poha to it with the salt and sugar. Okay. So we'll just give it all a good mix.
All right, it's finally we're joining the poha with the veggies, and then we have the cilantro already minced up that will be added eventually.
We'll add only some of the cilantro now, and some of it we'll use for plating.
Topping.
Yeah. Nice. And if you have lime at home, you can also put a small wedge of lime on the side. People love to squeeze a little bit on top. So just give this a good mix. And then, so this is where we are warming and flavoring the poha with all the vegetables and all the seasoning. So once it is nicely mixed, we'll add some of the cilantro.
Ooh, Nilesh says we like lemon on top. Yeah.
If you have Indian pantry ingredients and if you have some grated coconut, that's another fantastic topping. That's how Maharashtrians or people near Mumbai, that's how they like it. Nice. They'll add a little bit of cilantro, fresh grated coconut, and some save on top. Save is optional, coconut is optional, but it gives it a very good taste. So I'm going to lower the heat further now.
So you added like half the cilantro and mix that in.
And we'll just let this steam for 2 minutes.
Oh, Hannah's son. Oh, so cute. She said Poha is milk approved.
Awesome.
That's oh my gosh.
So cute.
Oh, he's got some Poha on his mouth.
That's awesome.
That's adorable. Thanks for sharing that, Hannah. Carissa says, we have grated coconut from the previous class. Perfect.
Perfect. You can thaw it out and use it for, to sprinkle on top. So the other nice thing about poha, it's very light on the stomach. It's very easy to digest. So, I make this almost once a week for breakfast.
Awesome.
Every time it is different. If you're from north of India, Indore, that's another region that's very famous for the poha they make.
Mm.
Theirs is slightly different. So how we soaked and seasoned with salt and sugar, at that stage, they will take that poha and steam it for 10 minutes. So it becomes even more soft and fluffy. Or at this stage, they will steam it for some time. And they also add fennel seeds. So that gives it its
Ooh.
distinctive taste. So sometimes I make it like that. So there are so many variations, you know, all over India, you will find basically this with a few variations in the spices and herbs that I used. So
That sounds great.
let's take a look. Look at
I got
this.
you some water in case you need it. I
Thank
realized
you.
I was a little thirsty.
Thank you.
Ed
I
says
think-
poha is excellent.
Awesome. I am so happy. I really wanted to introduce this ingredient to your kitchens. I always love, you know, introducing something new, maybe something that's very typical in Indian households, but not that common in other places. And I'm very happy I got to introduce this today. And it's nice to see that you all liked it too.
Mhm.
It's a very nice ingredient to have in the kitchen. You know, you can make it like this. You can, you know, like I said, you can, after it's rehydrated, you can mix it with fruits and make it on your own, like add it to a fruit salsa and make it like a nice meal, like a snack. You can do that too. Let's go ahead and taste this. A little, if you have lime, you can add a little lime juice also.
And then the only thing I would want to mention is that you really want to add this sev only at when you're about to eat, because it will get
Soft.
You want it to be crunchy, kind of like a garnish. Otherwise, if you added it too soon, it would be soft and it wouldn't be that crunchy.
You want
flavor.
to add it only when plating.
Oh my god, yum. Mmm. And the curry leaf. Oh, it's so good. I love the peanuts with it too.
Do you think it needs a little bit more salt? A pinch more?
Sure.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it needs a little bit more. So I added a little bit more salt based on our taste, and it's done. You can give it a good mix and set it aside, cover it so that it doesn't get dry, and it will retain some of its heat till we get our
ready for our tea party. Okay.
We have to check on the cake again.
Yeah. So we've got
Make
about
sure.
a half hour left. So I think that's like going to be perfect for sandwich making
And chai.
And chai. How's everybody doing? Feel free to check in. We'd love to see where you're at. Ooh, I think we're done. Ooh, it has you can really taste the mawa or smell the mawa.
It's done. See? The knife is coming out clean. Awesome. Perfect timing, Sarah.
Awesome.
Checked it just in time.
Okay, so we're taking our cake out, and Sirisha did the knife test, and it came out clean.
Is it okay to put the hot thing
this
here?
is fine.
So we're just going to let this cool a little bit.
Okay.
It looks perfect.
So I think some of you guys have maybe like 8 to 18 minutes left. Maybe take a look at your cake and let me know where you're at. Feel free to jostle it a little bit, and you'll be able to see if it's still not solidified in the center.
And you can put this on a cooling rack.
Yeah.
Just help it.
Oh, cool.
down.
Some people already have their oh, are you all right?
Yeah.
Sorry, if you burnt. Okay. Oh, that's clever. So some people's cakes are done already, so feel free to take a look. So we're looking for this kind of caramel brown color.
And a clean toothpick or knife. Yeah.
Jennifer and Cedar said, I think we jumped ahead on tasting. Go ahead. It's your food. So Vivian says, looks done. Liz, can we see the cake again? Noah says about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Not done here, another 15. Yeah.
Yeah, it should have a nice crust like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really should be like, it's not super hard, but it definitely doesn't squish. So
yeah.
Yeah. yours maybe will need another like 7 to 15. You'll just maybe check every maybe 7 minutes, I would say. Until it starts to firm up, then you can just keep an eye on it.
I'm just going to set aside the cilantro for
Okay.
plating
Cool.
and keep it along with the save. So, we are ready for it.
Okay.
And now we're going to go ahead and prep for the sandwiches.
So the one thing I would like to note, just 2 things is we included Sirisha's recipe for the chutney,
Yeah.
but we're not making the chutney today. We've already made that for you, and it's oh my gosh, it's so good. I got to try some of it yesterday. But we included the recipe card for you so you can make it again. And then the only other thing worth note is when we do get to the chai, we gave you a lot more tea leaves than you'll need. So you'll be able to have more tea in the future, but
And
we gave you a
also,
lot more tea
maybe
than
it's
you'll
a
need.
good
Okay.
time to ask about whether they have a tea strainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that came up was because we're going to be using loose leaf tea, we wanted to kind of check in with you and offer any suggestions or modifications if you don't have
A strainer.
a finer strainer. So feel free to comment if you don't have a strainer, and we can come up with some modifications for you. For instance,
Yeah, some of the tips we saw, like,
so depending on how fine your strainer is, what you might need to do is, I guess there was a couple solutions.
You could use a cheesecloth inside it to help it, become like a fine strainer, or maybe we haven't tried it, but if you have a paper coffee filter, maybe just placing that to pour,
Yeah,
that
so
might help.
if you have cheesecloth or some sort of like finer,
Like, I
finer
don't
kitchen
know, like
cloth.
even like the some of the Keurig cup coffee machines, they'll have that strainer inside. So maybe you could just use that to pour the tea.
The other thing that you could potentially do is use a paper towel inside a wider strainer of some sort.
Yeah.
And that will kind of help keep some of the tea away. And then we also we have like 5 different suggestions. We were just brainstorming.
We just Googled also.
Yeah, Googled
what to do if you don't have a strainer for chai.
Yeah. So you could potentially, if you have a paper cup, or you could even use some of the kind of tougher plastic containers that we have given you, and poke a couple fine holes and use that as a strainer.
Knife, a few holes, so that'll strain the tea and leave the leaves and spices behind.
Okay. So let me know if any of those work.
And now we are just taking the ingredients out for the sandwiches.
Of course, if you happen to have like a tea bag, or even like a small
tea strainer,
tea receptacle, you can use that. But let me know if that helps at all. I'm happy to walk you through those.
So first we are going to do the sandwiches. So you have your salted butter. And we gave you already boiled potatoes and beet. So we'll have to peel the potato and the beet. So, and we'll have to peel this cucumber. So let's go ahead and do that first. I'll probably do the beet last, otherwise everything will become red. So we'll just...
Nilesh says, "You're wonderful for including beet." Smiley face.
If you... so these sandwiches, you can make them as you like. So how we are doing it is almost like a Bombay sandwich with including all these vegetables. Slight difference is that just to introduce a different kind of chutney, today we used coconut in this chutney. You can skip the coconut and make it like a regular cilantro chutney as well. So this chutney has coconut, and it is made like this at homes usually. People they'll break a coconut, they'll use it that day. So this is a good example of what you might find in an Indian home in Mumbai. This kind of chutney. It's very fresh and it's used up in that day and it's done. If you eat a sandwich on the roadside, street side sandwiches are very popular. So they will not use coconut. They'll just make a regular cilantro mint chutney because coconut, it'll not last too long at hot temperatures. So that's the reason. So,
but please just try a tiny bit. You're gonna be tempted to try more, but it is so good.
yeah.
I'm really excited for you.
So I'm just going to go ahead and peel the vegetables.
Okay.
I'm starting with the mildest one first. So doing the cucumber.
Okay.
And as always, it's a good idea to taste your cucumber to make sure it's not bitter. Sarah already tasted. Then skip it. If it's bitter, skip it.
But peeling usually helps when it's.
So I'm just cutting it into thin slices, as thin as you can.
Evelyn says the chutney smells amazing. Evelyn, do those suggestions for alternatives to a strainer, do those help you at all? Let me know, because I could show you how to do the using the plastic container, making little punctures in the bottom of a plastic container. All of these containers that we gave you are heat safe. So that could be, coffee strainer. Perfect. That should work.
Yeah.
It's just some of the loose leaf Assam tea is a little bit finer than typical like green loose leaf teas. So cool. I'm glad. Does anybody else not have a strainer that they're thinking of different ways that they could make their chai? We can get to that when we do that. But
and in these veggies, you can use one or all of them. And if you feel that you can use you don't have to toast the sandwiches, or you can, just depends on your taste.
Okay.
So, and if you feel that the potatoes are a little bit cold for a room temperature sandwich, you can just go ahead and warm it up slightly in the microwave oven. Okay. Just for a few seconds.
So everyone's got a half a cucumber. I just got that timer for the cake for the rest of you guys. So if you want to take a look, I think your cakes will be really close to being done, if not done already. So take a look at your cake. And Sirisha's just moved on to peeling. I love that you'd peel the potato with your hands. So feel free to do that, or you can use a peeler. It's probably a little hard because it's already boiled.
It's boiled, yeah.
But you just slice the potatoes really thin, just the same thinness as the cucumber.
All the vegetables. And in this, sometimes in India, some people like to use very thinly sliced green bell peppers also. So just depending on your taste. If you get these, today we are trying to make small thin sandwiches.
Yeah.
But if you order, like if you get a sandwich from a street vendor, they really pile up on all the veggies and then they will kind of squish it into this. I bought a sandwich toaster just out of nostalgia, and I have to show it to you guys. So this is a sandwich toaster that would be used by street vendors also, and at homes also. So this will directly go on a gas stove. You can just heat it like this, and you can see first it's made in India. The bread slices are smaller there.
Yeah. So Ed, your gluten-free bread would be perfect for this one. I think all the other bread that we've given you is a little long.
Yeah. So
but this is like a perfect square.
Triangle, and you'll get it.
And wait, can we see the inside? Sorry.
Yeah.
And look how cute it has this little triangle cut. So so this would be like on the streets of India, getting a little,
especially
cute.
in Bombay.
So
bread culture has always been very strong in Mumbai, in cities, and especially there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like some of the gifts of the Portuguese invaders, I guess. Pav and bread, the concept of eating bread in the morning. It's not like a traditional Indian thing, but it's become part of our breakfasts and meals, especially in Mumbai. I remember when I was a little kid, we moved from South India to Bombay. Then it was called Bombay. We would see a lot more bread. There'll be grocery stores will have lots of loaves of bread. Whereas the place I came from in Andhra Pradesh, we would have like 4 or 5 loaves of bread in the grocery store, and it would be milk bread.
Oh.
Not like the white sandwich bread, but it's slightly sweeter milk bread. And we didn't know how to use much bread, or we didn't have it in our it was not a habit.
Yeah, it wasn't
So
like a staple.
somehow bread was recommended when people were sick. So they would just toast bread and have it with milk or something like that. We didn't. I learned about sandwiches only after we went to Bombay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they would just eat toast, or maybe put some butter or jam. Even cheese I knew only in Bombay. Now, I've moved out of Bombay for many years. I mean, I'm talking about 80s. Okay. That kind of dates me also, but I was a kid in the 80s. So just to give you an idea, now you get everything. In India, you will get sourdough bread, you'll get all kinds of different varieties of cheese, not just, cheese. So I grew up having only one cheese by one brand called Amul, just Amul cheese. So if any of you grew up in India, you'll be familiar with that. So here I'm just peeling the beet also.
Okay. Doran says, used to use something like this in Girl Scouts, the toaster.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen them for camping, like camping equipment. So that's so fun. Okay, so we're peeling basically everything. We boiled so many beets yesterday, so we gave you a half a beet, organic beet, and potatoes that were boiled, and your cucumber. And then we gave everybody 6 slices of bread.
I'm just going to rinse my hands once before I slice it.
I know. Beets have the most beautiful color, but man, do they stain everything.
So I'm just going to go ahead and slice this as well.
Okay. Beautiful. And this will be such a colorful sandwich, We had some leftover chutney yesterday and leftover bread, and so we just had buttered cilantro chutney sandwiches, but with none of the filling. So it's been kind of fun to get all of the ingredients.
So here, I think we are ready with all our vegetables and everything. We'll just need salt and pepper for the sandwiches.
Okay.
Did we?
We might have used most of the salt already, so if you can use some of your salt, I've got pepper too.
Okay.
I don't know if we gave that with kit. Did we? Maybe we did. Huh? What did we?
Bread. Oh yeah, there must be another bag with the bread.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sorry. I think we did give you salt.
There's no sandwich without bread, and we have a tomato also.
Oh, I forgot about the tomato.
That.
Me too.
Yeah, Sarah and Liz are so organized. I wouldn't think they'd forget some ingredient.
Liz is the champion. I call her logistics Liz because she counts how many pieces of packaging we need and how many ounces of certain things. So she's been really wonderful.
So I just rinse the tomato, and I'm just going to get the stem out. We'll probably, I don't know if we'll use the entire tomato.
Maybe just half.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to use probably just half. So you can have a tomato, potato, onion mash tomorrow.
Yeah.
With the leftovers. Or do you want to serrate it?
Yeah, maybe I'll use a serrated knife.
We've got some.
Yeah, I saw one. Let me see if this will work. If it doesn't work, then I'll take out the...
We're using a different knife for the tomatoes just because the skin's a little tricky.
Yeah, I think serrated knife will
Yeah.
be better.
Serrated knives are the best for tomatoes. Let's see. What ones here? There you go.
Thank you.
I've got a bread knife. Would you like that?
Yes, let's get that out.
You guys doing okay? We can the tomato back to you. Yeah. I know we forgot about the tomato, but that's okay.
This we took out this for the serrated knife also, or
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted that for the tomato.
huh? Let's keep it
Oh,
here.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm superstitious. We just have the superstition of not handing the knife in the hand.
I hand too many knives. I think this has happened before where I've tried to hand I hand you a blade, but maybe it's too pointy.
And I mean, I can see it being a safety thing where you don't. It makes sense to not hand a knife, but it's more of a superstition. I don't want to fight with you, Sarah.
No, never. We've never fought. That's pretty amazing, right?
Knock on wood.
No,
Yeah.
You've been
Sarah is
such
super nice.
Oh, I love working with Sirisha. You make it so easy. And I always learn so many things from you. So do you need another cutting board?
Yeah, we'll
for the
get
bread?
the cutting board. I was thinking maybe we'll start, we have prepped everything for the sandwiches. Maybe we can start boiling the water for chai.
Okay.
And make both together. Is that better, or would you guys prefer to make the sandwiches and then just make chai?
Let us know. We've got about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So maybe it does make sense to start the chai. I think so. Evelyn says make chai. Everyone's saying make it together.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then one said chai now, sandwich later.
Perfect.
And then the Tali family says
the Tali family,
they have it. They say, we have the Snack Master sandwich maker that we use sometimes.
You can use it today,
Yeah, use it today, Tali family.
Once we assemble the sandwiches, we can do that.
Okay, so
I'm just taking the ingredients out.
So we've got a little saucepan here. And a lid is needed or no?
We don't need
lid needed. Okay.
I'm just looking at all the ingredients. You have more tea than you'll need. So please don't, empty the Assam tea into the water. We'll be measuring out and using. There is sugar, there are all the spices, and there is milk and ginger. So I was so happy when we decided to do this class because chai, or rather chai tea latte, is my pet peeve. So, because our Indian chai is very different from chai tea latte. So when we drink that outside, it just feels like milk and spices and sugar. We don't get the taste of tea at all. So our tea is a lot stronger and less sweeter. So, and we use Assam tea. I used a brand called Wagh Bakri. I think I've mentioned that in the I don't know if that got mentioned.
Oh, no,
so yeah,
but
so that's my favorite brand. But you can use any brand strong Assam tea. So this is what the tea leaves look like. And
so we're only going to use
like 2 teaspoons.
2 teaspoons.
Yeah.
And we gave you like a couple tablespoons here. So
yeah,
2 teaspoons is what
and then all these spices you can use as per taste. So I'm just going to lightly pound. I like use a mix of all of them.
Okay.
And this, the star anise, it's used in Maharashtra and other parts of India. Like if you Gujarati, Gujarat is another state in Western India. They don't use that. So there are some slight differences. They wouldn't use this, and in some other parts of India, fennel might be used. Fennel seeds. So the spices we use might vary. In my house, in winter, I'll make only ginger. Like I'll add a lot of grated ginger and make my chai. In summer, I like it lighter. So I use a lot of cardamom only, or sometimes I'll use cardamom and rose petals. I love those flavors, and black pepper.
Nice.
And then you can use everything together and make a masala chai. Gujaratis make a spice powder with a lot of different spices. So it's called masala chai powder, and they use that instead of using whole spices. And today also you can use as per your taste. But I love this combination. I might use only half the cinnamon stick, and you can add more black peppers if you like. If you have rose petals at home, you can add that. So, it a lot depends on your taste. So if you have a mortar and pestle, it's a good idea to just,
Should we get water? Do you want water boiling
yeah,
first?
I just thought we can pound the spices a little bit.
Okay.
If you don't have it, do we have one?
I think we do.
If we don't, then we can just,
I don't know if we do. If
Okay.
you have a mortar and pestle, she's recommending that
just pound them
they could be
lightly,
pounded.
or you can just, we'll just do it on the cutting board. You can use a ladle or something and just crush the spices a little bit. And then you will need to grate your ginger. Yeah, so we just want to open them up. So see, just break them up a little bit. Cardamom pods also, you can just
Smash them.
yeah. See, I love using cardamom in chai. And then black pepper also, just slightly crush them. You can already, it's smelling good here.
Yeah. And you're just kind of snapping the cinnamon.
Yeah. And then I love star anise in chai. So these are there. And then we'll just wash and grate a small quantity of this ginger. You can peel it too.
Okay. How much you think?
I would just use for 2 cups. I'd probably use a small part of this.
Node.
Yeah.
So we're gonna use probably like maybe
Yeah,
a half inch or an inch.
Yeah, this much. And I'm just going to take the skin out and crush it a little bit. You can even chop it up, or if you want to grate it, you can grate it.
Okay.
As long as it can release its flavors into the water, that's what we are looking for. So many times I feel lazy to grate it at this stage, so I'll just chop it up. Yeah, serrated knife might not be the best option here. I don't know. Anything to just get it into tiny bits. If you have a mortar and pestle, you can just crush it in that. That works too. So I think this is a good quantity, and given our weather now, this will be really good.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So now we'll go ahead and add water.
Okay.
So today we are making 2 cups. So
I've got a cup measure here.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
So we're just adding water, and we let this start boiling.
So bring this to a boil, the 2 cups to a boil.
And then we can add the spices also.
Okay. Oh, add them just in.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah, and you can do this as per taste. And even the strength of the tea and how sweet you like it, how milky or how watery you like it, it all depends on personal taste. So today I gave it as per my taste. And if you want to make it a little bit milky, you can add more milk than what we've given. Just take some milk from home. Or if you want to use a plant-based milk, oat milk is a good milk. I've seen people like it with oat milk. So instead of using the milk we gave, you can make it with oat milk and add more if you need, if you like it more milky. And I'm making it somewhat medium strong. So 1 teaspoon per cup is a good measure for that. But we'll first let this come to a rolling boil. And then I will keep a teaspoon ready for measuring the tea. I saw them somewhere.
Oh yeah, they're sorry.
This
here. Sorry. Our cake looks so good. Let's see. Here. Okay, we've got a teaspoon ready. back for you. We've got all this hidden compartments here.
So while the water is coming to a boil, we can maybe make our sandwiches now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can make a small like assembly line here.
I just wanted to highlight, if you don't mind, we've got a couple classes that we've already lined up for the next few months. We've got an in-person cooking class series. I've actually given you guys a handout on those. Let me get that for you. So we would love for you to come to more of our classes. We do in-person classes. We're doing a simple meals series. One in February is going to be a rainbow quinoa bacon salad and focaccia bread. And then we are doing the Taste of Russia class is in person. That's a 2-part series. And it's kind of like elaborate meals that are made for you. It's more of like a dinner class. And then Hannah Fink, who's taking this class today, she's going to be teaching a whole grains Valentine's Day cookies class, a virtual baking class with toasted rye chocolate chunk cookies, spelt Linzer cookies, and shortbread cookies. So definitely feel free to just check out our commonground.coop/cooking classes to register for more classes. And then while I was doing that, Sirisha just warmed up her butter just a little bit in the microwave.
5 to 7 seconds.
5 to 7 seconds.
Just till it's soft enough to spread. So,
oh my gosh, our water is already boiling.
Mm-hmm. So we let it come to a rolling boil.
Okay.
So here we are just going to butter the insides so that the chutney, the liquid in the chutney doesn't seep into the bread. It seals. So the butter kind of seals the bread, and always butter is always good.
Yes.
With bread. So I'm sure Hannah would agree. She has a nice business. I've tried her English muffins and they were yum. Sourdough, whole grain English muffins.
Really tasty.
Yeah, they're very good.
Okay, so we have a rolling boil. Keep boiling to activate the spices, you think?
No, we are ready to move on. You can add the sugar or add sugar later as per taste. I think we'll need a lot more sugar than this. I'm just going to add this first in here. We'll let that also cook.
Okay.
And as this is we'll add 2 teaspoons of
2 teaspoons, and we added all the sugar.
Yeah.
But we might need to get more sugar from the cupboard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we make the chai, we can taste it and adjust the sugar. We want it slightly sweet, not overly sweet, but
And then how long does it steep typically?
So it once it comes to a boil, you see the color change, and we let this boil again.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can smell it too.
Mm.
You can smell the tea now along with the spices.
Ooh,
Can you smell it? And then you add milk. So
you really don't have to steep it for that long.
A little longer maybe. You can steep it a little bit longer. The color needs to be more milky, like a slightly more orangey color. Do we have more milk, Sarah? Can we
get?
Can I go and get it from?
Yeah. We're gonna add a little bit more milk.
Yeah.
But if they had this, then they can just
just steep it. Yeah. Then you would boil it for less time so that it doesn't get too strong. Okay. But this needs a little bit more milk.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn this off. And
I can go grab some if you wanna.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Or I can just change the spotlight really quick. I'm gonna grab just a little bit more milk. Let's see if there's any questions.
Until then, I'm just going to continue buttering the bread and making the sandwiches. And you're always welcome to toast the sandwiches once you assemble them. So again, the quantity of milk depends on how creamy or how light you want it. I like it a little bit more creamy than this. That's why I asked her to get a little bit more milk. So once we butter the bread, we're just
Kate,
going
would
to
you
go
be willing
ahead
to transfer
and
this
apply chutney
to
on one
virtual
side.
classes? There's like a new
So
section.
here is the chutney. I'll just grab a spoon. Or a knife, a butter knife, and then you can apply as liberal or as little as you like on one slice of the chutney, depending on your heat tolerance and how much you like the flavors. And you can do this with other chutneys too. You can do it with just plain cilantro mint chutney, or you can do this. Are there any questions? I've just been talking and continuing to cook. I'm just going to add some more milk. Thank you, Sarah, for bringing this.
Yeah, no worry. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, sorry, you guys, if you don't have any more milk, sorry about that. But I'm sure that you can doctor it up with just a little bit more sugar and it will be just right.
How are you guys doing? So now I added a little bit more. So this is the kind of the color I like, but we let this boil for a little bit.
Okay. So I love that the milk is added with the tea. Sometimes I've had the tea or added the milk after the tea was already strained, but it's great to have combined the milk with the tea, so it's kind of fully warmed up and not making making it too cold.
Some people like to really steep the tea and then they will add very hot boiled milk after they've turned the tea off. That actually makes it a little easier on the stomach because you're not boiling the tea too much. So that is one way of doing it. So once it reaches the first boil like this, we'll just lower the heat a little bit and then give it a good mix and let it come to a boil again a second time. The second boil is what seals the deal and seals the flavors.
Well, that's amazing. Evelyn says, I love the smell of the tea.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla says, love the smell of the tea too. Infusing in the electric tea kettle. Cool. And then Tolly family, look at
Oh,
look at
wow.
that
Oh, wow. So nice.
Great job.
If you're on Instagram, please do share them with me. I love to see your creations.
Yes.
I'm there at My Craves and Raves. I don't know if my ID was there with the.
Oh, I'm gonna put it in here. So Sirisha has an amazing Instagram. You should follow her if you have one. You also have a Facebook.
Facebook, I'm not that regular, but Instagram, I'm more regular. So this, I do have a Facebook page too. So this, now I've turned this off. This tea is good to go. We'll just finish making the sandwiches and then we'll strain the tea and we are ready for our chai party. So I've just spread the coconut chutney, cilantro coconut chutney. How are we all doing? I think some of them have finished before us.
Yes, that's so great. Tali family says, our family's first time making the whole afternoon tea.
Awesome.
Oh, great. I know we've gone a little over, so feel free if you have to go. I totally understand. We're so glad to have you all here, and I just want to share my appreciation for all of you for joining us today. And it's just been so lovely. And a special thank you to Sirisha for all of these creative menus and these delightful cooking times. So thank you again.
Special thanks to Sarah because she lets this happen, like I'll suggest some menu, some ingredients that are not known and she's like, yes, let's do it. I feel so happy.
I'm so glad.
So only one tip, you have to layer the vegetables with some salt. Since cucumbers are okay, but beets, potatoes, and tomatoes, sprinkle some salt between the layers, salt and
Oh,
pepper.
Okay.
So that helps them, have more flavor. So I'm just going to go ahead and
I'm so glad. So, Carissa said, just sliced our cake. So excited to eat it. Thank you for teaching us. Amy Matthews says, the cake is delicious. Laura
Awesome.
says, thank you so much. This is wonderful. Oh, Tali family. We love you both in Indian classes. Jamie says, do we leave the potatoes and beets cold?
you can warm them up before adding, or you can toast your sandwiches. It just
Yeah.
depends on taste.
We're eating
So-
ours. We're putting ours on cold.
Yeah,
And then
they are, I think, better at room temperature.
okay, room temperature.
Yeah, so I'm just
Hannah says, so much fun. Thank you both. Still eating poha from the pan. I love it. Carmen, thank you. Thank you so much. Michelle says, looking forward to our tea this afternoon. Thank you for the great class. I'm so glad, Michelle. Jada and Brian. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you, Jada and Brian. Sally family says, I love that Sirisha says Bombay because I left the year I left Bombay in 1995 and then it was renamed to Mumbai.
Mumbai.
So it'll always be Bombay to me.
Yes, I have to correct myself even now to say Mumbai, but Bombay is how I think of that place. I grew up in Bombay, not Mumbai.
Elizabeth says, thank you. This was amazing. I'm so glad. Vivian says, you're supposed to skip right to the cake, right?
Yeah. And when you're serving your poha, do add some save and cilantro for crunch.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it in a few minutes, but if you're rushing, please go ahead and enjoy it with the crunchy save.
Oh, great. Noah says, thank you, dinner is served. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. You absolutely are still welcome to hang on while we plate things together. And we still will be, we'll still be straining our chai.
Yes.
So just remember to strain your chai.
And taste it and add more sugar.
You guys are
based
so
on your taste.
sweet. Have an amazing tea party. This is gonna be so fun, right? And taste your chai. If you need to add more sugar or if you have milk, feel free to add it to your taste. And then Kayla and KB said, can't wait to host our little tea party. Looks great and smells amazing. Vivian has a little heart. Jennifer says, thank you so much. We love the food and we love the two of you. 10 out of 10. Ah,
Thank you.
that's so sweet. No, Avery says they had Arhan from Avery.
Will do. Hi, Avery. I'm so happy you took the class. So sweet.
And Shay says, first time making Indian food. This was fun. I can't wait to eat now. Thank you both. Avery says, hi. Jada says, also first time making most of this. I know, isn't it great? It's so fun to use new ingredients and have new flavors. And I'm so glad you all joined us.
I'm just going to cut this and show you guys.
We will be posting the recipes and the video recording on our website. I also can, when I send it out this evening, I'll put some other recipes from Sirisha on there. But feel free, we'd love for you to attend more classes with us. Ooh, look how gorgeous. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay, Carissa, thanks so much. Oh, nice. And you're kind of cutting them into
However, you can cut them into squares.
Squares or triangles.
Yeah. Leave them big, make them small, or toast them at this point and then cut them.
If you toasted it, you would toast them all
with butter on both
with
sides.
Everything.
Yeah.
inside.
Assemble it. Yeah. You don't have to worry about toasting the cucumbers. It's just to get the outside crisp. The cucumbers will not get very cooked inside. It'll be fine.
Laura says, today I was just watching. Can't wait to make everything and have our tea party tomorrow. Awesome, Laura. I'm so glad. And I will make sure, I'm happy. I'll be sending out the recordings. I know there's a couple people that couldn't make it today, so they'll be watching it later. So we'll definitely have a recording to you later today.
Sarah, can you give me
one
plate? I want to just plate the poha and show it.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
just go ahead and plate the poha, strain the chai. You can try to skip the uh, green chilies.
Okay, yeah. You can take the green chilies out or just leave them. Just make sure
They don't
someone's
in the
aware
plate.
that it's hot and you don't technically. Would you eat them?
No,
No, you just,
they're
it's all for
spicy.
flavor.
Yeah. You can add as little or as much
Oh, you
of
guys are
save.
so cute. Ed says, thanks, supercalifragilistic Ed, supergalidocious. And then Tolly say that, oh, thank you from the Tollies. Everything is delicious. Our kids cooked for once. Try new things and old faves. I love that picture.
Oh, that is so cute.
Thank
you so much for sharing.
Thank you for that. You guys are the best. So this is with the Sev sprinkled and the cilantro sprinkled. This is the beautiful color combo. And then
And then we can cut the.
oh my gosh, look at these. I love these triangles. They look so pretty, they're like rainbow. Okay, so the next
Let's
step would be, should we strain the chai or?
Yes, let's strain the chai. Even I was getting to the cake
I
like
know.
Vivian.
I know.
Let's
It's
see.
so
Do
great.
we have cups or shall I use the paper
We
cups?
do have, do we?
Let's use paper cups.
Okay, we've got a
We
couple
have
over there.
one nice fancy looking cup there. These might be very big. Or maybe we'll use, or you can even use small glasses.
I've got this one and this one. I'll
Okay.
just rinse this out.
Okay. Yeah, let's use the smaller cups.
So anything worth noting with the straining of the chai?
So just place the strainer. I hope you all have a strainer and you can just, strain it this way.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
So I would love to know what you guys thought of the chai, especially. It's very different from chai tea latte, right? This
This will be yours. So I'll take that one.
Yes.
Yeah, let us know. There's still 18 folks that are still with us.
So I'll cut the cake also. I'm very curious to see the texture of the cake. Does it need more sugar?
It's good though. I don't know.
Is it enough?
You taste it. You taste it. It's light. The sugar's light. It could use a little more.
Yeah, I would definitely need more sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's really nice.
And
There's
then
something calming about it.
And the way we made it, you can add more milk if you like it more creamy. So I like it like this. So we made it like this, but we can always add.
If you were going to add more sugar, how much? Like a couple teaspoons?
For mine, I would add a teaspoon to mine.
Okay.
For my cup.
Okay.
So it just depends on your taste. I'm just going to go ahead and reuse this spoon. Yeah, I'll probably need I like my chai a little sweet. So shall I add for you? Also?
Yes, please. Yeah, that'd be great. Evelyn said, could we reuse the chai for another cup later?
It will probably not be strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for a second steeping.
Yeah. And we've already added the milk and everything. I would probably not do that.
But we gave you extra.
Yeah, you can.
So, but you would need more spices.
Spices are optional.
Okay.
It depends on your taste. If you want to just add ginger and black pepper, you can do that. You can skip the spices also. Sometimes I don't add any spices if I just want to enjoy the taste of the chai.
Nice.
So chai is basically a strong black tea like Assam tea, milk and sugar. That's basically chai. And then the spices just enhance it. You can change it as per season and add what you like.
Liz, we use the Rudy's sourdough bread. It's just the white bread that we sell at the store.
Now it smells right.
And Jennifer said, Kayla said, love the tea smells, getting ready to taste, oat milk added. Awesome.
Perfect.
Jennifer said, not far off from the chai we had in the Middle East.
Yes.
Definitely enjoy the different combinations of spices. Oh, that's lovely. Oh my gosh. That little sugar brought out all the spices. Oh, that's so good.
I'm
Ooh,
just going to go ahead and slice this. Have-
This is always the best part. I always say I'm so spoiled because I get to be here for all of the cooking and then get to taste everything. Um, Nilesh says the Dubai Grill off of Lincoln has chai karak and
Karak chai.
karak
Mhm.
chai saffron.
Oh, they add saffron to their tea. Yeah,
That'd be
that's
good.
nice. Yes.
I wonder if it'd have a different color with the saffron, or would it, the chai be so dark it would
Yeah.
keep the same color?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
just,
look, you're flipping it. Nice.
yeah, just so that because I thought I'm not cutting it correctly. You don't have to do this. I wasn't getting the bottom.
Yeah. How did
Yeah.
how did the cake turn out for everybody? What do you think about the cardamom? Evelyn says, tastes so different with extra sugar. You're right. I know.
Yes.
It almost is like a totally different tea. It
Mhm.
all came out, all the spices kind of came out.
So this cake is nice and moist. The first piece I kind of didn't cut properly, but it
Oh my
looks good.
Hannah added some flowers. It's so
Oh,
pretty.
so pretty.
So pretty.
Can you taste the mawa in the crust? It has a caramelly kind of taste. That's from the milk solid cooking.
The cake has left the building a long time ago. It was not good. Oh my gosh, that's funny. It's so funny. Jennifer said the cake is beyond delicious.
It's good. I love the
my
crust.
Mm.
The crust is the best part.
So good. Yeah, the crust, but it's so soft inside. I love that it's still warm. Oh, you guys, this is the best. Yes, to the crust, even though we didn't have the electric mixer. Great. I'm glad it worked out. Yeah, you just got a lot of extra muscle exercises today. Hand whisking. Wow. Okay, you guys. Well, we can just maybe put some of the things together so you can see it all displayed, but I'm so excited for your tea party and filling snacks. We'll just put this. Oh, you had made this all nice, and then I totally ate.
No, that was for us to taste. So I kept.
Oh, okay. Thank you all so much. Evelyn says, thank you so much. This was so fun and so much more ambitious than I would have ever tried on my own. So much food. I have to invite some friends over. Oh, I'm so glad, Evelyn. I'm so glad you took the class with us today. Sarah Jones says, thank you so much for having me. This was Sarah's daughter attending, but I love how everything turned out. I'm so glad. Millie, thank you so much. Dinner early tonight. Yes. Well, we will let you have the rest of your weekend. And of course, we would love for you to share any of your photos of your
Please do,
special
yes.
dinners with Sirisha's Instagram, My Craves and Raves, and also Common Ground. So we're so glad to have you all here, and we'd love to have you back for another class. So I'll send you links to other upcoming classes. But thank you so much again for taking your weekend to hang out with us. So
Thank you.
We'll let you head out and have a good rest of your weekend. And what it says, thank you. These sandwiches are unbelievably delicious. Oh yeah, we haven't tried one yet. Carolyn says, thank you so much. This will be dinner for my husband and I tonight. And I think some leftover poha for breakfast. Perfect. And just traditional.
Poha is it's apt for breakfast.
Yeah. Ray says, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you again so much. Thank you, Heather. Okay, you folks, we'll see you later. Thanks so much for having
Thank you.
making this a wonderful class. We'll see you later, okay? Take care.